Hello and welcome to another edition of The People's Rose. I'm Jared.
I'm Brooke.
And this is the second episode of our reality TV show podcast we're releasing this week. We reacted or we gave our thoughts on The Bachelor and Love is Blind in the previous episode. And you know what? We probably should have done Brooke's Buzz. But that just means that we've got a lot that we're getting into this episode. We've got Big Brother. Do we have Brooke's Buzz this
I
week?
have one little thing, and I really should have said it last episode.
Right, okay. So we've got a quick in and out of Brooke's Buzz. We got Love is Blind. We got Big Brother. And we got Reality Olympics. Did you write down any awards you want to give out?
No, we'll just have to fly by the seat of our pants.
This is going to be an impactful, impromptu Reality Olympics. Because we got to get these awards out, people. All right. With that said, let's go ahead. With that said, let's go ahead and get into Big Brother. Big Brother. Big Brother is one of our favorite reality TV shows. It's a competitive reality TV show, and we're going to talk about it. For those who are watching it, this has been such a crazy start.
Cray.
Like, what are they giving those house guests?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're pumping in laughing gas or
know
what's going on, but they are losing their
minds.
Every week we think, okay, Angela's the craziest person that's ever been on this show. Next week, Tucker's like, wait, hold on. I have something to say. This week was insane. What are your thoughts?
Is such a character.
Yeah.
He's such a character.
Incredibly so. He's
I think he is wanting to really control the house.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, for sure. If it's not Tucker's way, it's wrong.
And I think because he's winning so many BBAI arenas, it's getting to his head.
Oh, his ego's inflated.
He thinks he's like so good.
And he thinks he's playing the right way and giving the people what they want, which is crazy to say. It's so weird that I've been so on the opposite side of Twitter recently, but when it comes to Big Brother opinions. But they're just eating it up.
When I see, the comments that I see on TikToks of clips from the feeds, I'm just like, what are y'all? Are we watching the same thing?
They've loved Angela. They've loved Tucker. And I think it's just because they bring pure, unadulterated chaos.
I finally did see some that I was like, okay, finally people agreeing with me on Tucker just like wanting to control everything.
Right.
Basically what happened this week was Cedric was the HOH.
Yeah.
And he put up Angela and Kenny, of course.
Right.
And then Tucker, again, for the second week in a row, volunteered to go up on the block. Which, if you are a fan, you know you don't do that.
Yeah, it just wasn't. But it's worked out for him so much that he's like.
Which is annoying.
Right. That's what I don't like about it, is that I don't really like this chaotic gameplay. Because if everyone got in the house and acted like Tucker and Angela, they probably have to shut the show down.
There's no way.
It's like insane. So you've got these characters in Angela and Tucker that are just doing the most insane things you've ever seen. And it's forcing house guests who would probably come out a little bit more of their shell, try to influence the game a little bit more, to just be like, all right, let me just sit back and let these two self-destruct.
Yeah.
Like T-Core and Joseph and Brooklyn all seem like they have strong games. And people are mad because they're just sitting and letting this big alliance keep them insulated and safe. But what else are you supposed to do when everyone's going crazy?
Right. Well, Joseph, I barely even see him on the feeds, though. I see clips of Brooklyn a lot and T-Core, but Joseph I never see on the feeds.
Right.
So I am kind of like, what is he doing?
Yeah, so Cedric won HOH. He, upon becoming HOH, is deciding to keep things chill. He doesn't want to burn too many bridges.
Which, it's week 3. Good.
Right.
And plus, you have Kenny begging to go home, so why wouldn't he be up there?
Exactly.
Angela, she's still public enemy number 1.
Everyone was wanting to get her out. Yep, it seemed like a sound
So
week.
It makes sense.
Right. He's not too concerned about the powers. Some people have devoted their life to finding out who's got the powers. He just wants to get out of HOH without stirring up too much
Mm-hmm.
drama. But that seems almost impossible when Tucker is involved.
Tucker gets this idea of like, I mean, this is what he was saying. This game's been so boring. I'm ready to play. Let's get this show going.
Right.
And so he's like, just put me up there, man. And then, of course, he wins the veto.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes up with this plan.
Well,
I can't even remember
was
who
the first
was
one to
even
think
there.
about it. Kenny
It
wanted
was
to.
Kenny, Tucker, Cedric, and Cam that were
Yeah.
having the conversation.
Uh-huh.
And Tucker's like, I'm going to use it on Angela. Take down Angela, and then you can put Quinn up.
Right.
Because Chemo
Right.
told Tucker that Quinn has the power.
Right.
And I can't even fathom why did he want to take Angela down? Because he thought he could beat Quinn in the AI
right.
arena.
So the thinking is, I take myself down. That means Quinn just has to be Kenny, who is likely to throw it, and Angela, who no one takes seriously as a competitor. He takes himself off the block. They end up wasting a week. So he's like, I've got the huevos rancheros to stay on the block, beat Quinn, and now we can vote Quinn out.
I'm sorry, but I would never. If I want a veto and I'm on the block, I'm using the veto on myself. Never would I not use it on myself. And I'm annoyed that it worked out for Tucker.
Right. Even though it worked out, it's still just the wrong move.
Like, I wish he would have had to eat his words.
Yeah.
And like be humbled. I wish he would have been humbled.
Yeah, it was not good for the game that didn't work. I mean that worked. Yeah, and so with this plan, of course, he won the veto. Yeah, he won the veto. Take Angela off, which gave us a great moment. I mean, every week from her, she's either crazy eyed, screaming at somebody. She's shocked that she's
her facial expressions
that they sent Lisa home over her, and then Tucker surprises her and puts the veto on her neck, and she looks up like she just, saw an alien, and she's like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea. It's like, yeah, we know. So, Angela, I told this to you when we were watching. It takes a lot to out crazy Angela, and Tucker found a way.
Yeah.
So it works. So another part of that was Cedric was supposed to put up Quinn. We saw what happened.
Cedric's in an alliance with Quinn.
Right.
And that's the one alliance that actually seems like the Pentagon is the one that actually seems like they do want to work together.
Right.
None of the other alliances seem real.
Right, they check in on each other like once a week.
Right.
Like.
So once Cedric sat for a second, he was like, I'm not doing that.
Right.
And so he decided to put up Mackenzie.
Right.
Which forced her to use her power. So then she came right off the block, and then America got to decide.
Right. Which, of course, since Tucker get his way, he kind of acted like our 2-year-old and started whining and complaining and said, I hate you, Tucker. I mean, I hate you, Cedric. You're not a man. I'm coming after you.
He was like going after Cedric.
It's
like gunning for Cedric.
Enough is enough, Tucker.
Yeah.
And so that's what happens. And now that we're voting, we really didn't know who to vote for.
I know.
Like, we didn't have a reason narratively.
I truly, looking back, it was like 2 days ago. 1 day ago, yesterday. Because we didn't know until then. I wish I would have voted Rubina. But I think it was always gonna be Quinn.
Yeah. Oh, Rubina would have been good because it would have forced Tucker to throw the game to her. And not leave her up there.
Yeah. Let's
take a detour.
Showman's report.
Yeah, showman's report, because let's go just dive into it.
What do we even say? Tucker and Rubina, they have been like getting as close to kissing as possible without actually kissing.
This is one of those rare moments where kissing would have been less intimate than what they were doing. It was
True.
almost like I'd rather they just
True.
had just kissed.
True.
Because this felt like one of those like, whoa. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
I don't even, I might skip kissing if y'all keep going at this rate.
Right.
They have clearly, they've been saying that they've been into each other, but yesterday or today this morning, we reached kind of a breaking point in their maybe temptation.
Yeah.
Allow whatever you want to say, and they were all over each other.
Yeah.
I'm not kissing and making out. I'm talking deep eye contact where you're less than a centimeter from someone's face.
Yeah.
She's got her hands on his face. You know what I mean? They're arching each other's back.
And he was picking her
up. They're
up.
cuddling all over each other.
They were like necking. Isn't that what they called it back in the day?
Yeah, back in the 50s. So I don't know. Where, maybe they said it out where in West Texas. They got. It's so weird because they really didn't do much, really. But it is one of those things that if you walked in on two people doing it in a library, you might call the cops.
For sure.
You'd be like, there are
that's
kids around.
Inappropriate.
Right. Yeah.
Which they both were like, oh, we can't be in a showmance.
But we said that, and I think we got pod evidence that was not going to last long.
No.
We knew that they were going to break. They weren't going to hold out. I actually did think it was going to be a little longer, but maybe I should have known.
I almost think she was like, well, if he's leaving, like, let me get a little cuddle in first.
Yeah, it definitely felt that way. But now that the seal has been broken.
I saw a clip of her talking to Brooklyn, and I don't know the full context of what she was talking about, but she said, I feel so stupid. So I don't know if that's like that she was getting close with him. But then she said, but I would still send him home. Talking about Tucker.
Yeah, but
so I know, but
come on now.
I know.
I am just I'm so excited to see how Leia reacts to this. Because Leia, whatever her name is. What is it? Leia is also has a crush on Tucker. Kimo also
But I think she's getting distracted by Cam.
Well, only because Tucker rejected her. So that is never.
Poor Cam. Justice for Cam.
No, who cares?
Why?
So here's what's happening. This is what's happening. And this is the second time I'm bringing this up. You know, when you're Regina George and you've been Aaron Samuels and he's broken up with you, right? When you see Aaron Samuels getting with Caddy, you don't go like, "Oh, I moved on." You're like, what are you doing?" That's what I see Leah doing. Now I say moved on. She never really had a thing with Tucker. But my point is, it's not like, oh, okay, I'll talk. Person, you've had a dating history. When you've been rejected and you saw them flirting with someone else, you didn't go, oh, that's okay. They turned me down, so I won't have any opinions about who they flirt with. You're like, okay, what has she got?
Well, yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. I'm so shocked that you think Leah's not going to second go like, what has Rubina got that I don't have? Do you think Leah's that mature?
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
You're right.
And I think I have the right to be excited to see that kind of behavior in the Big Brother house.
Okay.
So, as I was saying, I can't wait to see how Leah reacts to that because, you know, who cares about Cam? She's got Cam and Quinn having pick her up competitions, you know, and carrying her around the house.
True.
But I guess Tucker's just got some magnetic energy because he's got Kimo who's got a crush on him. He's got Leah who's got a crush on him. He's got Rubina who's got a crush on him. And I'm venturing to say there's some more people in that house that just don't want to jump into the mix.
I think he's just such an interesting character. They're just like, what is this? Who is this?
Oh my gosh. So back to what happened?
Because even Quinn was saying when he was talking to a camera, he was like, Tucker's so funny. He's my favorite dude in this house, even though he called me out in front of everyone and tried to get me on the block.
I think Quinn is a super fan that I also think is just there. It's not just there to have fun, but it's also like excited just to be on the show.
No,
which I honestly
right.
think a lot of us would be. As much as you want to get there and win that life-changing money, half the time you'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this crazy guy.
Yeah, that's true.
This is probably such good Big Brother TV.
I mean, at the end of the day, Quinn is still there, and he's gonna have control of HOH this week.
Right. Because, you know what happened. Tucker takes Angela off. Then he wins Battle of the AI Arena, which we all knew was going to happen, which was crazy. Kenny gets evicted 11-1, and he's out the door. So you're right. Quinn is left in the house. He's got the HOH power. So whoever wins HOH, which we have the feeds up to see if we can kind of tell who it is. But it's not really going to matter as long as Quinn activates his deepfake HOH power.
Right.
Because of that, Kenny's gone home. I didn't realize this, but Julie said he'd been trying for years to get on the show.
Yes.
And then
she was like, why try for so many years and then
be ready to quit?
Be ready to quit.
And he's taking a lot of heat. It is boring. I feel like we never see the funny stuff on the feeds. When we turn on the feeds, it's Kenny. It's the Kenny depressed show. But hearing him just talk about his struggles, I can understand. I think it takes bravery to say, like, I wanted to be on the show so bad. And when I got here, mentally, I just missed my family too much.
I think so, too.
And I tried when I was in a comp, which he participated in a lot, and he won a couple. But when it comes down to it, he's got a 6 and an 8-year-old.
And I think just the guilt of being away from the kids was really getting to him, too.
And I understood what he was saying. And, people hate Matt, but he got close to Matt, which reminded him that, Matt has a dad who was a cop. He's a cop with children. It probably reminded him more so of his family. So, he got his wish. He was basically asking people to evict him.
Yeah, when he came down from the AI arena, he was whispering into so many people's ears, and I think he was saying, please send me home.
Right. So, he's gone. We are waiting to see who's going to be the HOH. But again, unless it is Quinn, he has the power to deepfake HOH. It'll be interesting to see how that happens.
I know. Imagine Tucker wins HOH and Quinn deepfakes it.
Which is what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Because that would be crazy. He would be so mad.
I know.
Here's my prediction. I think deepfake HOH is going to work as such. The winner of the HOH is going to be HOH. He's going to have the opportunity to activate deepfake HOH, which is going to make the HOH have to be locked in their HOH room. They can't come out all week. That's my thought.
Really?
I think that's going to happen. And then they'll have to film and give their nominations and all that stuff. So I think what's going to happen is they will have to read the nominations that Quinn gives as if they're giving them. You see what I'm saying? And they'll have to say the things Quinn tells them to say as if they're saying them.
Huh.
Now, they won't know who's telling them to say it.
Yeah.
But they all know it's Quinn, so they'll know.
Yeah.
Quinn told anybody, because they said it wasn't going to be a reveal of who he was. So I think what's going to happen, he's going to go to the diary room and says, okay, tell the HOH that they have to nominate Cam and Chelsea. And so then they have to read the script. And if people didn't know the deepfake HOH thing was happening, people would be like, why is she nominating? We just saw her do it. You know what I mean?
Huh.
And then the week would end and they'd be like, guys, I had to say whatever they told me to say. That wasn't me.
That's crazy.
Because deepfake, they said it was gonna be a fake version of the person in playing their game.
Oh yeah, they did say that.
So they don't have the technology to actually have a fake hologram person.
Right.
So I thought they would just separate them for a week
Yeah.
and make them read what the other and do whatever the other person tells them.
Dang, maybe so.
So that's my prediction. I would be interested to see how that plays out. Crazy week. I only expect more craziness coming up.
Same.
We did Showman's Watch. Let's go ahead and get into our favorites. Who's your favorite now? Who is your least favorite, and who do you think will win?
My favorite is still Chelsea. Rocking with Chelsea.
Okay.
My least favorite is Tucker. He's just it's too much for me. And who I think is gonna win is I don't know.
Okay, well, while you're go ahead.
Maybe.
Well, while you're thinking, my least favorite is still Angela. Who do I think is going to win? I said Rubina last week, but now she's joined up in this showmance. But I can still see her. I'm still going to stick with Rubina, although I have less confidence. And then my favorite is I just don't have. It's so weird that I don't really have a favorite yet.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't feel like I'm rooting for anybody right yet. I'm just rooting against the craziness. I know people love chaos, and I
Mm-hmm.
like a little shake up here and there, but man, it's too crazy. So by default, I'll stick with my favorite from last week from Houston, Texas, Mackenzie.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
so yeah, although we did not talk about Mackenzie's. Well, it's not even that big a Big Brother thing, but just her saying that if she wishes. I don't even want to bring that up because
Don't
it's
even.
just it's whatever.
Just, yeah.
Okay, so do you have yours?
Who I think is gonna win?
Hmm.
I think I'm gonna go with Chelsea.
Okay, Chelsea. I could see actually Chelsea winning. I
Mm-hmm.
really could see her winning. Okay, so that was Big Brother. So much craziness. Um, well, it'll just be waiting to see how this week ends up and where it ends up going. Now, this has been a crazy couple of weeks of reality TV. We have all the shows that are going on for a little bit. I thought we would talk about a new show. We find a new show to add since the mole ended, but we didn't need a new show. Well, these are technically kind of new shows, but not really. De verdad, estos series de Netflix son programas en que we've watched before, but now we're watching them with new flavor.
Mm.
Last week premiered, I believe it was last week, the first 4 episodes of Love is Blind Mexico. And today or yesterday premiered the first 4 episodes of Love is Blind UK. Now, we obviously speak English. Y yo hablo español, at an intermediate level, and enough to understand the show. But Brooke watches some of the episodes of Love is Blind Mexico with me. We put on some subtitles in English so she can understand them. And to be honest, when we watched Love is Blind UK, we had to put up some subtitles to understand them because their accents can be kind of strong sometimes.
Well, and sometimes they just say things differently than we would. Like the guy was talking about his schooling, and he said something like CGS. I was in CGS or something, and it's like if I don't see that, I might not compute that like, oh, that's just their schooling thing.
Okay, well, as a loving husband, I do put on the subtitles.
I know you hate the subtitles.
But I actually do have them up in Spanish when I watch Love Is Blind Mexico because just to help for that same reason when I'm listening in Spanish, I'm watching in Spanish. So I don't know if we even anticipated this. So much content because Love Is Blind drops tons of episodes.
I think we should say too, if you're interested, they do offer Love is Blind Mexico with voiceovers in English. But we don't really like the voiceovers. It's a little odd.
Right, and I
so
speak
that's
Spanish.
why that's what I was about to say. Since you speak Spanish, it makes sense why you're
right.
watching it. But anyway.
So we are going to, the way we're going to structure it is this. I have watched most of the first 4 episodes, but just yesterday they released 4 more. I didn't have time, believe it or not. I've got a job, a wife, and a kid to watch these 4 episodes in time for this podcast. And or actually that was today that they dropped those episodes. And then so I definitely didn't have time. And the same thing with UK. We've seen the very first episode of UK, so we know a lot of the cast and the characters. And again, we do know a lot of the cast and characters of Love is Blind Mexico. So we're going to give you our insight to what we've seen. We might post updates on our social media just in between the episodes. Just our quick thoughts on the episodes as we watch them to kind of stay up to date. But as for the podcast, we're just going to talk about what we've watched so far and try to hopefully be on pace for when the finale comes. We can kind of have a podcast ready to go. We might have a special timing podcast for those. So this is just, I think we start off with Mexico. I've been I again I've been studying Spanish, whatever. So I wanted to, I was always excited to have I've been waiting for Netflix to do some of these big shows in Spanish language, so I could one practice, and watch TV in Spanish, the TV that I like to watch. It's called telerrealidad in español.
Mm.
And so I'm like, I want reality TV in Spanish so I can really really get it. And then Love Is Blind is a show we love, and so we started watching Love Is Blind. Brooke hasn't seen all the episodes, but
And I didn't write the names down, so
but
I'm just I don't
right.
know.
And so here's what we're gonna do. If you're not watching Love Is Blind Mexico, it's like any other Love Is Blind. It's Mexican. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's in Spanish. But if you speak Spanish and you're listening to our podcast, I highly suggest it. I'm just gonna rattle off the characters that in couples to me that jumped off. If you have comments as well,
Okay.
feel free.
I might have to ask questions.
Got
like,
you.
Okay.
Hands down, my favorite character. And she's not perfect. Irais started off liking Fernando, and she thought Fernando was the guy for her. Fernando, however, migrated to Karen, and he turned down Irais, but she went all out, and then Irais jumped to Renee, the doctor, and he's not perfect for her, but of course she's engaged to him anyway. The reason I like Irais, I've seen her smile maybe only a couple times. I don't know how much she's in the show, so I have to watch these new episodes because at the end of it, she didn't even like Renee's look. She pressured him on being on his alcohol. This was another alcohol. He said he liked drinking. She doesn't want people who have a tendency to drink alcohol. She has a loving relationship with her brother with special needs.
What did she say too? He said he likes to spend money. He spends all his money. He doesn't
all
save.
His money he doesn't save. She likes to be organized and plan ahead. And when she saw him, she was just like, "Oh, it doesn't even sound like what I remembered with Renee." And he doesn't. He looks like a bad guy who would send you to therapy. No, a bad boy, as in like, bad boy tendencies or whatever. And she doesn't want to pay for therapy anymore. So, or she doesn't want a guy that'll make her have to go to therapy. Okay, and I don't know what it is about this personality of this strong-willed. No, I like Fernando, so I'm going to pursue him, even though Karen has told me, like, Fernando told me he was basically in love. She's like, I don't care. So Iris is one of my top contenders, and I'll just go through the line. You've got Fernando and Karen. Now, Karen, as an amazing, it's tragic for her. Her backstory being she was with a guy that found out he was a homosexual, or he's gay.
Was that the father of her son? I mean, her daughter. Doesn't she have a daughter?
Yeah, but she didn't specify that.
Okay.
So, that's crazy. She seems very sex open, sex positive, almost more so than Fernando. And then, in addition to that, she seems kind of chill. Like her demeanor is very laid back. Fernando, and she's she's like very classically attractive. She's got a very, very well built body. That I think most guys, I mean, the average guy. Anyway, she's beautiful. She's very good looking. She's very sex positive, almost to the point of intimidation. I think that's why ultimately her and Saul did not work out, because she was talking about specifics of the sex life when it came to like threesomes and stuff like that.
Okay, this is a PG podcast,
which is why I'm, but I have to explain the things. Long story short, so I was like, no.
Yeah.
Fernando was like, no, but maybe. But he's already jealous of Saul and their in Tulum, where they go after the pods. Oh, if you don't know what Love Is Blind is a show where people fall in love before they see someone. They spend 10 days talking to them through a wall. Then they get married if they choose to that person. Then they engaged. Then they see the person. Then they live with each other for 3 months or a month, and then they get engaged. I mean, they get married.
They get married.
Or they say no at the altar. Okay, so they're in that period, or in like a honeymoon period, and Fernando and them or whatever, they have good chemistry. But to me, she almost seems a little Karen. She seems a little like, It is what it is. He's like, oh, this is great, but I don't want her to talk to any guys. So there's gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
there's gonna be stuff there. I know it. Others I like Gerardo and Fernanda are interesting. Gerardo said he had an equal, like at one point, relationship with Mafer and Fernanda. Mafer was the more hippie, artistic one, and Fernanda was the more like, established, deep, personal love one. I don't know. That's how he described it. He said it was just like a crush with Mafer. But I think that'll have. I think that's going to come back around. And then also, they do seem to have a genuine connection. That they like each other. They both like how each other looks when it was revealed. They are a little hippie for my taste. Some of the stuff they say is pretty cringe.
Is that the couple I didn't see at all?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
He's super tall. She's kind of short. They were talking about vibes.
He's a musician, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that for me is an insta cringe. You start making songs, I'm out. Another thing that's happened on both UK and the Mexican or Love Is Blind Mexico is it seems like right before they decide who they're going to get engaged to, they have to give each other gifts.
Mm-hmm.
So on Love Is Blind Mexico, it kept happening where the guys would try to break up with a girl, and the girl were giving them a gift, and so they would go in there, quiero decirte algo, quiero they come in there with plans to leave and break up. And then the girl's like, I just gave you a personal charm for my family that means the world to me. And I wrote a song for you and your daughters. Because half the people in Love Is Blind Mexico have children from previous relationships.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I'm writing and it's just like every single time the guys are like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to break up with her now. And it was just so funny. Like they curse all the time on Love Is Blind Mexico. They curse all the time. And so when one of the guys came back, when Chema, like I learned this word, fresona, he's muy fresona, came back and was like, oh, Ale Caleti, she gave me this right when I was about to break up with her. You just hear the back guy in the background screaming, Madre mia! You know what I mean? Just like, can't believe it. It was, I don't know. I thought that was very funny. So, which brings me to Chema, and wow, this is the first couple I can't meet.
Chema is a silver fox.
Yeah, he's also very short. He's probably just your height. But he seems, I cannot remember his connection's name, but they seem to be going well. She
was the plus size model.
No, curvy model.
Oh, sorry, curvy.
Yep. But they both love pranks, making each other laugh. They both were very confident, and Chema had a really weird love triangle in that Ale, his other connection, the opera singer, he rejected her, and she was like, you'll be back. I know. Like, go have your fun with, man, what's the other girl's name? The other girl, but I know we'll meet back with each other outside this experiment. And he wasn't like, no, don't do that. I'm getting engaged. He was like, oh, wow, you're great. Thanks for understanding. And I'm like, But I don't know. Maybe his wife his girlfriend would be cool with that. And seeing how chill they are with everything else. Man, and that's another thing. Love Is Blind had so many couples that made it out of the pods. They call them the cabinets or the booths in Spanish.
Oh.
The cabinet. I forgot the word, but it's cabinet or booth. And so, anyways, so many of them. So we've got Saul. And dang, what are their names? I should have pulled up their names. Saul and his partner. We've got Fernando and Karen. So that's two couples. We've got Chema and his partner. I can't remember. We've got Gerardo and his partner. We're up to 4. We've got these other two. I've forgotten either of their names because they were literally on the last episode. So that's at least 5. And I honestly feel like I'm forgetting one.
Wow.
But that's, and Irais and Renee, they didn't make it out of the pods, but I do think their storyline is going to continue because it just ended so abruptly. I'm like, that can't be the end. So we've got 5 to 6 connections when we're used to getting 2 to 3, unfortunately, in the American version. So I'm excited to see where the rest of Love Is Blind Mexico goes. and it's helping me to practice understanding, listening to Spanish. And I think I'm gonna post some TikToks of sharing more opinions en español sobre la serie y qué estás pasando con las parejas. But it's just we're having an influx of Love Is Blind right now. The set is different, but it's the same show. The cultures are different. The stereotypes are different. Like the typecast that people get cast are different. But I'm enjoying it. It's something I am going to continue to watch, and I hope this is the first of many seasons. Um, Speaking of the first season, it's also the first season of Love Is Blind UK. We literally just watched the first episode. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on Love Is Blind UK?
I mean, it seems pretty standard.
Yeah.
Like the US. Like there's not much of a difference. It was same vibes, same, really.
Yeah, I agree.
I would say my standout right now is Freddie. I really like Freddie, the funeral director.
Okay.
Of the girls, I like Demi.
Demi's very cool.
I like Demi. Those are probably my standouts.
Yeah, I think
I'm afraid Demi's gonna get her heart broken by Ollie.
Oh, 100%. We saw in the previews that looks like that's happening 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be real, so like I said, some of the cultural differences in Mexico and this other one, it made it hard for me, like I said, to see, like, I didn't know what it meant to be fresona and some of the things that people were saying about other people, like what they meant personality wise, or just how reality shows work casting wise. That's why it feels a little new. I do feel like Love Is Blind UK, I can kind of see the roles these people play.
Yeah.
Catherine is the like, and maybe this is, maybe it's the same thing in Love Is Blind Mexico, but she's like the, flirty, sexual attention, fit body, you know what I mean? Looking, even though they can't see anything, but it's more likely to go with someone who's a little more of an F-boy than not. Then you've got your, kind of reserved but sweet in Sabrina, the one who's, what's her guy's name?
Steve or Steven.
You're right. But and so you got that, and then you got Demi, who's, she said it herself. She ends up getting friend zoned a lot, but because of that, she vibes really well with the guys.
Yeah.
And so I'm seeing a lot of that, and so I think my favorites are probably, I like Demi as well, even though I do also agree that it looks like she's heading towards heartbreak. There is Catherine. Just kind of seems kind of ditzy, and that could just be the accent that makes it sound like that to me. But I don't know if any connection she has is gonna last long on this show.
Yeah,
I don't know how she's here for. If she's here for the right reasons, I'll tell you who my least favorite is right now, and that's who's nose jobs.
Oh, Sam from London.
Sam's from London. Yeah, remember me? I'm Sam from London.
From London.
I want you to remember me. He just seems kind of desperate. I don't know if he's here for the right reasons.
Yeah, I mean, he was just like, he kept being like, I don't know why nobody wants to date me. Like, he literally was saying that.
And he's like, I feel like when people like, all right, when they look at my profile page, they probably just look like a guy who's looking for a one night stand.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh my
This girl's
gosh,
like,
dude.
Wait, what? Why? You're doing something to make them think that.
Exactly. So,
sorry.
Yeah, and so he's like, it's just one of the many things that kind of irked me about him. He also said nice guys finish last, and that's a huge red flag. And it just was a bunch of like, where sometimes we would accuse Grant of saying all the right things that almost felt cliche on Bachelorette. I felt like he was saying all the wrong things.
Yeah, but it appears that he makes a match.
Right.
So we'll see how that goes.
And then you've got, I do like Nicole and Benaya. Benaya less, but Nicole, I like her kind of exuberant personality. But what she sees in Benaya, who's like, he literally said, I'm homeless. She was like, oh, you're homeless. But this was a little different. In Love Is Blind Mexico, they showed like 3 couples, and they spent the majority of the time with just one, and they got
Yeah.
all the way to the engagement with that one.
Yeah, the production is a little different.
Right. We saw 17 people.
Yeah.
And it all seemed like they could have potential to be major characters.
It was almost felt like they were like profiling everyone.
Everyone we saw, well, I'm sure I'm forgotten their names, but we saw so many people. But it'll be interesting. They definitely are different. See, American love dating shows is because just the way America is. You're gonna get your Southern Belle sweethearts that are just looking for a man that can. They can, jump on the big green tractor with, and then you've got your, New Yorkers, and you got your Californians.
True, that's true.
You got your Midwest.
Well, yeah, because like on the UK, they kept saying, "Oh, a Manchester boy," "Oh, London," and it's like we don't know what that means.
Another thing about these shows, Love Is Blind Mexico, seemed to be filmed. I actually don't know this to be true, but they had a lot of people from CDMX from Mexico City. But they had them kind of from all over. They would be like, "Where are you from?" "I'm from all the way over here." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same thing with UK. Now, UK is smaller than, or in total, it's about the similar size of Texas or whatever, right? And including Ireland, because it's UK, not just Britain and England, right? But they were saying stuff. "I'm from Manchester. I'm from London," which I know is London, right? Adjacent. We had Irish people on the show. We had people from all over Great Britain on the show, which, as opposed to the American version, they go to Seattle.
Yeah.
And at best, you live in Portland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They go to Dallas. And they went to Houston, which unfortunately was such a letdown. You know what I mean? It's one city. So the living together thing is kind of expected. Or we're not going to have to worry about long distance. I wonder how that's going to be different here and how that's going to affect some of these relationships.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they're like, "Are you looking to live in Belfast?"
Well, she did. Yeah.
She's like, "No, I'm getting out of here. I'm trying to move to London."
Yeah.
We saw, where did they say they were going? Corfu?
Corfu?
Yeah, we don't know where that is. We're not well traveled.
Sorry.
We will probably
We'll
just
Google
lost a podcast listener. Like, they don't know where Corfu is. But it's just the first episode, so that's all we got. We kind of saw the beginning of the second episode where Sabrina and Steven do get engaged, but we have yet to see the reveal. We don't know how they react to seeing each other.
Oh yeah, we haven't.
The one other person I want to talk about Love Is Blind UK before we move on is Ollie. Unfortunately, Ollie seems like a good guy, but we see previews of him being like, "I'm done. I should never have come on this show. This show is just wasn't the right thing for me." And then he has a choice between Catherine, who he likes, and he's like, she's very flirtatious. And then we've also got a choice. He has a choice between Demi, who he has better vibes with, which I think is a recipe for he picks Demi, gets out, still has chemistry with Catherine, hurts Demi, leaves.
Yeah.
You want the best for these people, but the best one might not be their couples. Another thing that's we are just so Netflix pilled when it comes to reality TV, because all of these shows, no matter the country or language, if they can speak English, has potential to be on Perfect Match or the other Netflix reality shows, because Netflix is kind of building a reality TV empire.
Yeah.
They're kind of showing people that they have what it takes.
Yeah.
To just build a whole universe that people get involved in, and we're stuck.
Yeah.
Anything else about Love Is Blind UK?
I think that's it for now.
The only thing about me I'm going to watch the Spanish version no matter what. The UK is in English, and so I'm going to feel compelled to watch. Our classic one is the classic one. I kind of don't want to get burnt out.
Same.
Sometimes with Bachelor, where it would line up to where we would have Paradise, Bachelor, Bachelorette,
True.
Gold, and it would just be like, ugh.
True.
Mondays would almost come and be like, can we get a break? You know what I mean?
True.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
So what Love is Blind is so popular. I don't want Netflix to just put Love is Blind UK, Love is Blind Mexico, Love is Blind Brazil, Love is Blind France, Love is Blind. You know what I'm saying? Like let's slow the pace down a little bit. But whether they do or not, we'll podcast about it. Okay, we're losing steam fast. We've recorded this podcast, these 2 podcasts after we put our kid down. So we've had a long day, but we're not done. We're going to finish this out. Brooke, what's your quick Brooke Buzz fact that you're going to share?
Oh, the only thing is that Brittany Cartwright, married to Jax, they're separated.
Yeah.
She's been seen spotted lately with Connor from the Bachelor franchise.
I don't know who Connor is.
Yes, you do. I can't think of his last name, unfortunately, but if I show you a picture...
Well, what season was he on? Can I get some context?
Boy, I can't remember.
Well, what does he do? What was his claim to fame?
I don't know.
You're the Brooks Buzz. You're the one who's buzzing about the...
Connor Solly?
Just show me the picture. Oh, okay. That's not big news.
Saili.
Yeah, he's
15th season of The Bachelorette.
He's a third stringer at best.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and at one point, those Vanderpump people were A-team reality people, but that's what happens when you're on the Valley. Was she on the Valley?
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're on the Valley. You're not in the big leagues anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really think. Oh, he was on Hannah Brown's season.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why you don't remember him, because you.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was a non-contender on a season 6 years ago,
and then he was on Bip.
That's what I'm saying. It's not that big. He's not.
But I truly don't think anything is gonna come of it. I think it's just truly they've been spotted together.
Yeah, it's whatever.
So.
Okay.
That's all I have. Let's move on to our roses. Gold, silver, bronze. Oh, I guess we should say bronze, silver, gold.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to begrudgingly give a bronze rose to Tucker for Big Brother. And it's only a bronze. Yes, he's won a lot of competitions. Yes, he successfully took himself off the block. But only after he used the veto on someone else. Mm-hmm. It's like we gave you the gold. It was literally the golden power veto medal, and you gave it to someone else. Mm-hmm. So this comp, you did win another comp,
right?
But now you only get bronze,
right?
You have a bronze.
I'll go with you on that.
Okay, I would like to give our silver medal to the noses of HUD and Adam. This is their second medal of these reality Olympics.
Yeah.
For pulling, instead of sabotaging each other, literally pulling out the win.
Yeah. And then getting a clue and finding out another person
and making it another week when it seemed destined that Adam was going to go. So a silver rose to them. Finally, okay, golden roses. I don't know quite who is deserving of a golden rose this week. I'm trying to think of Love is Blind Mexico, Claim to Fame, Bachelor. I think no one earned a golden rose this week.
Oh.
And it's a shame because we've been so busy I didn't get a time to do it, but I would like to continue these roses past the Olympics.
I agree.
And I'd like to, they're the reality Olympics now, but I'd like to call it the Rose Podium or the Rose Winners.
Yeah.
And every week we give out Rose
I'm
winners.
down for that.
And we don't have to give out all of them every week, but just if you earn it, you get it.
Yeah.
To go along with Brooks Buzz.
Okay, got it.
Okay, and so on that said, I don't think anyone's deserving of a People's Rose, but I will give out an honorary rose, no colors, just a special recognition, kind of like, like I said, special recognition to just all of the Netflix reality team for pumping out all these reality TV shows.
That's true.
And actually, you know what? Now that I'm really thinking about it, they deserve a People's Rose. Than all the people we don't know. Just the production teams that do this. Because think about how many Netflix reality TV shows we watch. I'm gonna start with The Mole.
Yeah.
We watched that. What was the Greed show? What was the name of the show?
Oh gosh, yes. What was that with
Tolu?
Tolu.
Yeah. So we'll go The Mole. I'm just gonna call it Greed for right now. We've got. I'm just gonna say without even thinking, maybe 4 Love Is Blind. We've got Perfect Match. We've got The Circle. We've got we've got Squid Games, the reality TV show.
Which is coming back.
This December. We've got I feel like there's one more that we watch. Oh, we don't watch the show. Okay, the feeds just came back. We might get a.
Oh, do not tell me Angela has a key around her neck.
That's insane.
Is that a key around Angela's neck?
If that's so, that's the most insane outcome that could happen.
Jared, that is a key around Angela's neck.
I don't think I'm gonna get this episode out until Friday morning, but for most of for most of our beloved listeners, spoiler alert, we are watching the live feeds of Big Brother.
Y'all,
it's a 24-hour show.
I wish we were live because we could be reporting this live.
Yeah.
I believe if my eyes are not tricking me, that Angela has the HOH key around her neck.
Yeah, they zoomed in on her face, not her like torso, so we can't really see what it is hanging around her neck. But
you're right, it could be a necklace.
I don't see it on Chelsea. I don't see it on
not on Quinn.
I don't see it on Mackenzie, but we're seeing the back of her. Oh my God,
we gotta wrap this up so we can get to it.
Well, I almost want to stay just so we can get it on the podcast. You know, they can hear it first. You know what I mean? That's if they've listened.
Here, turn it up.
Here. Well, can you pull up sites? Just an update site. What was I saying? Oh, we watch a lot of Netflix reality TV shows, and kudos to them for ingraining. There's been multiple times where I've decided, or I've thought, because they've jacked up these prices. Well, not on the mic. Turn them.
Sorry. Yeah. I don't have Twitter.
Well, can't you just turn the volume down? You don't have Reddit on here? We're sorry, we're live reporting. Oh, they just zoomed out. I think it was just a necklace because I don't see it on her neck. Okay, long story short, we watch a lot of Netflix, and we're thankful for them, so we're giving them a rose.
The people's rose, not just any rose.
Exactly. So we're gonna wrap this up. Unfortunately, we are unable to see on mute ascertain who is the HOH. Are you on Reddit?
I just pulled it up.
Gotcha. And
it's not posted yet.
We're really thankful that you're watching and that you've listened to this interesting end of this second podcast. We've got tons of we've had tons to discuss, and we thank you that you've listened. If you got this far and didn't realize it, we did have a Bachelorette and Claim to Fame podcast before this one that we posted, and we're gonna try to the best of our ability to post and continue to Angela's HOH.
Wow.
That's crazy. This is crazy, bro.
Wow.
This is crazy. Guys, just thank y'all for listening. If you're hearing this moment, wow, that's awesome. And now you know whether you like it or not, Angela is HOH. Guys, we hope you have a blessed weekend. Thank you for listening. Follow us on the People's Rose on all the social media sites. See our faces on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And keep listening to us throughout this reality TV summer. We're going to do our best to get on the mic and talk about all the shows we watch because we just love to do it so much. But y'all stay blessed. And we'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.